Hello guys, we are here at IIT Madras Heritage Center and this is the Diamond UB for our alumni. It had been 75 years since they have graduated and let us break the ice by introducing our alumni. So can we start?
My name is Ganesh Rajagopal. When I was studying here, of course, they call me R. Ganesh because that is your father's name comes first and then your given name. But I think that is a tradition, last name, and I like to be called by my name, so I say Ganesh Rajagopal. And I was in mechanical engineering. Go ahead.
I'm Sudhir Chandra, hailing from Bangalore, and I joined in the first batch 59 to 64, and I had taken the branch civil engineering. And then afterwards, after finishing the BTech, I continued studying MTech also, and I specialized in structural engineering. I did the 3 semesters. The 4th semester was supposed to be a thesis that I could not do because I joined the Government of India and Ministry of Railways. I thought maybe at some time I may be able to come back and do that sort. Our professor, Dr. Varghese, said you can come later and do it also because he had to stay in the hostel to complete that last semester. But somehow I continued in the railways itself. And as you know, most of you know that in the government, it's more the age that counts for getting the promotions and going higher up. BTech or MTech degree does not have any special significance so far as the career progression is concerned, except you have the knowledge. So I'm happy that I had the academic knowledge, but it doesn't matter. So I had the academic finished and then I went to the Ministry of Railways and served there for about 38 years. And then I happened to rise from assistant engineer, joined, and then ultimately member railway board and exceptional secretary to the Government of India. Thereafter, I settled in Bangalore, being my hometown. And luckily that Bangalore Metro Rail had to commence implementation. So our Minister of Railways, when I was a member, he told Mr. S.M. Krishna, the Chief Minister, that he's settling in Bangalore, your place. And is it the metro is going to get sanctioned, you can take him and use his services. So thereafter, I was there in the Bangalore Metro for 10 years. Implementation of the first phase. Then I gave up a very active work. Then only I'm advisor and member of some engineering committees, important committees. And now I'm also advisor to Tata's in Pune Metro, their own project of PPP model. So I think I always believed that so far you are physically and mentally fit, try to give something to the community, to the center, to the government or to the state, so that the knowledge goes down, further down, and the whole country improves. So in that direction, I worked, and I think by the end of next year, it should be completely silent, and my wife will be the happiest. She says, I've been working all through. Spend some time with me also. So that's my story. And I think one thing I wanted to say, at that time in the first batch, there was an age limit also. 16 years. It was a 5-year course. So 16 years was to be, I think, 1st of June or something. Many of us were underage. So I was also one of them, about 15 years and 9 months. I think, but they relaxed it being the first batch. And I am sure at least 10% of our community at that time was underage, literally. But I think all of us did well. And I thank a lot IIT Madras because that fashioned up our career and everything good. And God gave us an opportunity to be in this institute and serve the country. Thank you. Yeah. Srivastava.
And Vishnu Sahaya Srivastava, popularly called Lalji by my mates. Of course, I passed out in 1964, mechanical engineering. Thereafter, as the trend was normally that time, UPSC examination was supposed to be taken up. I also took half-heartedly. I actually didn't want to go to some administrative field. So I was selected and given DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. I worked there for about a year or so. But due to some family problem, I had to shift to Uttar Pradesh, which is my home state. And there I joined the Industries Department, retired in 2001, elevated to post of Executive Director. Thereafter, I was hired by JP Associates as Director Projects. There I did lot of work, establishing number of greenfield projects, especially in the field of heavy industries, mineral waste industries, and power plants. And 2015, like Sudhir, my wife and children insisted that enough is enough. 64 to 2015, now you should come to us, stay with us. So finally, I also decided to take it easy, but still people bother me. But I limit to my laptop only, and that is how the life is going on.
And name is Chimanlal Chawda. My roll number in IIT Madras 15008Y59. So after I passed out, I was interested in defense services, but my father said, no, you try something else in civil. So I went to Calcutta, applied for Police India Limited, because my background was electrical. Actually, in that time, in IIT Madras, the certificate was only electrical engineer. It was not specified that it is electronics and communication. I did it electric communication. So whenever I applied, I had to specify my last year's subjects to prove that I am a electronic side and not a electrical side. So that was one thing which was, I think, corrected after already I had been certification. So then I went to Calcutta, tried to apply it in Police India Limited, but I pained in the sense that time the train 64, 65 hours in Calcutta, only Bengali will get the job, Police India Limited, so I couldn't get it. So I came back, I applied in steel plant. I worked for 1 or 2 months and job satisfaction was not there. So I left Ganesh steel plant also, and after that I joined the Air Force and retired as my commander. During Air Force, there plenty of experiences are there. I worked on radar units, missile units, communication systems, maintenance and operations of missiles, radar. The interesting part during my Air Force was 1971 part. That time, I was in the eastern sector and we set up an operation. From there, we had the hotlines established to nearby the fighter bases. Normal procedure is that whatever instruction we have to give, it is to be ciphered. It will go to other end, which is to be deciphered, and then only they will know what is their mission next day. But the war was processing so fast that there was no time to cipher and decipher the messages. So we established the fault lines between our operation room and the fighter bases under the bunkers. And we used to give them, and then we had the very elaborate maps. Used to tell them on the map, this is the grid. That means this is the target. Morning 5 o'clock, take off and go and bombard. So used to be a direct hotline given instruction to the fighters, and they used to go and bombard. And it was expected that it will take about 1 or 2 months to do this, and within 16 days, the Bangladesh was come. That was one interesting aspect of my like that event. That's all. Thank you. Now,
So it's a privilege to have you all here, and we would like to know how did you all come to know about IIT Madras that time in 1959, and how did you apply and how did you join?
can I answer this?
Yes.
See, after doing my matriculation, I was sitting at home doing nothing. My friend came He said, there is one institution here, देखो, this can just read it. I read it. There is some South IIT Madras coming up, minimum required, I think, 55%. I said, I got 77%. As it is, you are doing nothing here sitting. Why did you apply and plain paper that time? That was the procedure up. And the plain paper, I sent it, I got the car. So,
Everything by post.
yeah. Then I came here, there was an interview. And afterward, I came to know there are professors from IIT Kharagpur, IIT Bombay, and all those. They were taking interview, and 2-3 German professors were also there. So about half an hour, 1 hour interview was done. Then I went back
So where was the interview taken?
in Madras only. At that time, I think in Alagapachita College of Technology was the only theoretical campus, where nothing was there. So I, this one gave interview and went back. Then I got the call. When I got the call, I came. My cousin was staying there. He told his son, you are in Madras and he is somewhere in Raipur, nobody knows, and he is coming that IIT. That time, those who are around with me, they said he's going to ITI, Indian Industrial, really. That way, the carpentry, blacksmith, and the thing they talk. So they thought I'm going there. Because in my hometown, nobody knew what is IIT. And there was an awareness was not there that there is something like IIT, which is a very, very prestigious engineering college. Anyway, I also didn't know the importance of IIT. I got selected and passed through, then only came to know what is IIT. To be very frank, those days, awareness of IIT was not there. No, after many, many years, this awareness came.
Mine was interesting in the sense where I grew up in my grandfather's place in Bangalore. So just after high school education, I went out. So I'd been to Sindhya School, Gwalior, which is a residential school, 2 years intermediate. So after I came to Bangalore, no question of joining. I had chosen, of course, engineering all the time. I had no inclination for medical at all. So then we were applying for the colleges in Bangalore itself. Then one of my uncles told my grandfather, see, there is a IIT Madras, a new institute being opened. My grandfather had a little bad experience because one of his relatives had been in MIT Crumpet. So MIT and IIT sound similar. My grandfather said, oh, that Crumpet, MIT useless. My uncle, one of his relatives came there and came back to India after I came back to Bangalore after 9 months because he didn't like that at all. There was nothing doing. Then my uncle had explained to him, there's a new IIT with collaboration from Germany and all that. So it was a good institute, something similar to Kharagpur and all that. So you ask him to apply and then do it up. So that's how then I took the form and all that. And one was lurking in our mind whether age will become a serious issue because, as I told, I was also one of the underage persons. So what they said, no, apply, let's see. If it doesn't come, it doesn't. Then always Bangalore, we already got engineering colleges. So that's how I entered IIT Madras. And then as I explained already, we had just the interview at that time, no written exam. So the interview was rather tough. Almost half an hour interview with the Germans and the Indians. I know it's difficult to understand the Germans' English at that time. You can't be asking too many things, beg your pardon. They say this fellow doesn't understand anything. So it was very selective and then ask and then answer. So it was a wonderful experience. 25 minutes to half an hour was a great experience. And went home. And one day the letter came, then for a week he joined, and the story goes on like that. Yeah. Ganesh?
I also graduated from high school in 1958. And like Sudhir said, I was, I think I was not underage, but not quite 16 when I joined IIT. So my father was a little bit more aware some of these things about what's a good engineer. Even now, I think like the children are all encouraged to be either engineers or doctors or lawyers or something like that. So in my family also by that time, I kind of had the feeling that my father wanted me to be in one of those areas. But fortunately, or whatever, I was already interested in engineering. By the time I was 10 or so, I had some interest in fiddling with things. And so it was something that was where my interest really lay, was in engineering, though I had no clue what it involved. But my father, of course, being traditional, so he said, why don't you apply to the National Defense Academy? So I wrote the exam, passed the exam, but they had a 1 week selection process. You had to go stay in a particular barracks for a whole week, and they would evaluate you psychologically and how you behave to other people. They'll give you a task where you have 5 people, you have to kind of show, tell them how to cross a river and all that. So I enjoyed all that. But at the very end, there was a meeting with the colonel, who was the final say-so. And I think during that interview, I think he kind of sensed that my heart was not in joining the army or the Air Force or anything like that. So thankfully he didn't select me. Because I'd have been in 3 or 4 wars, actually in the front line, So at some point, somebody in Madras, I think one of our relatives, he said, hey, there's a new IIT being started up here. Where do you try? And Sudhir said, I was fortunate enough to be called for an interview. And my only thing I recollect from that interview was one of the German professors asked me, do you know James Wass? Wass. Then I kind of figured out that he meant James Watt. So I said, yeah, he's the one who is famous for improving the steam engine. He did invent the steam engine. He improved it. So anyway, they seemed to think I knew something about it. I didn't know anything about it, but I got into engineering, and yes, then that's how I got there.
My story begins just like Sudhir. I was also underage, so I could not apply in any of the engineering colleges around my hometown, Gorakhpur. A cousin of mine, he was in first year, studying in first year, IIT Kharagpur. He had sent one form to his mother. So during summer holidays, we used to go from here and there and meet people. I went to his house, saw him filling a form. I said, what is this? He said, there is one new engineering college coming up, and it is very good. Government of India and German government is establishing, and I am applying for that. I said, well, can I also apply? He said, but I don't have any other form. Then we hunted for a typist in a collector's code. Where it used to is typist. I went and got it typed, filled that form, and with I think 1 rupee or some postal order was there. With postal order, I sent it by registered post. I called for the interview, and as Sudhir said, the interview was very lengthy. And in my case, it was followed by mechanical aptitude test. Interview, they ask questions like, apart from science and other things, they asked, how did you come from all the way from Gorakhpur? Then I had to explain. First from Gorakhpur, I came to Lucknow, first traveled to Jhansi, and from Jhansi, I got this Delhi Madras express train. I sat in that and came here. How much time it take? I said about 3.5 days, 4 days. Said, how many times the train changed its direction? I said, when I was not sleeping. Then I said, of course, there was no sleeping but that time. So almost I was awake. But I think it was 2 times. Said, all right. And you came to which railway station in Madras? I said, it was Madras Central. Have you seen that clock tower? I said, yes, I've seen that clock tower. What numerals are written on the watch? See how minute they were telling me. Then such questions, they showed me one photograph of a desert with one palm tree standing. Said, what is this? I'll suppose this shadow is like this. This is north. The shadow will come. Can you tell me approximately where this place is located? Then they gave me a piece of wire about 2 feet long and asked me to bend it in equilateral triangle. I did it, and I was also underage. I was fearing that they will not select me, but fortunately I got selected. My roll number was 1.118, Kaveri Hostel. And we used to play hockey. He was my captain, he was forward, and I was fullback.
Did you also play? No. Were you in the hockey team also?
Kaveri Hostel was interesting incidents which I remember is
And we won so many matches, not just big. IIT team was very strong team.
Even I am from hockey. I was Saudi policy team also.
Do you like? I want to say that's why in this group of 4, 3 of us were hockey players.
At the music edition, one hockey.
Yeah, so his interview is also hockey.
my grim was good, so I was selling photographer. Normally those who are happening at the back and other they will be there. But I was also selected, but my grip was good. But the interesting incidents once were the only Kaveri Hostel was there. The first director was Professor Sengupta. So one day they were shortage of water in Kaveri. So just to protest, very few of those who were the fright, we all came out, did half of shaving. Somebody had mistake, half stage cut only. And just in the supper we took it, some road stick. And then he went to the Professor Sengupta's residence. See, in that time it was so easy to approach the director straight away and do all these tricks. I don't think it's possible nowadays. So we went there, what happened? So there's no water, so we cannot shave, so we cannot. The classes also. You said, I do something, I'll do something. No, but very docile this one. Then, that type of interactions we had in that. Because only 120, but you were not there. So that was the luring test.
I like your way of protesting. Now it is just limited to spamming on the mail or hearing from this.
In which hostel you are living?
In my first year, I was in Kaveri Hostel. And then I shifted to Tapti Hostel.
Yesterday someone told me that some inmates in the Kaveri hostel, they are not happy about the hostel facility.
Even we were not happy.
Then I will tell you our story. We came to a strange place like Madras. For a person like me, who was 16 years, 15 years, few months, I used to wear only half pant. For the first time, my father got stitched 2 khadi full pants to come to Madras. Then our ordeal. We were in Saidapet Teachers Training College hostel, 2 miles. From there, they used to come to the road, catch bus number 5B, come to AC College of Technology. And when we used to spend all the money there, we used to be no money. Then we used to walk to the Adiyar river at the back of our hostel, request the boat wala that we will row the boat. You let us go free. He was a very nice old man. He said, all right, definitely we will allow you to go. And we used to row the boat, go on the other side and walk for all the AC College of Technology. That was how. And then, as he said, hostel, nothing was available there. So you can tell your mates how we have spent and built this IIT.
Yeah, I think I had my grandfather's bicycle, and rain or shine, the cycle from the Saidapet Hostel, AC College, and it didn't matter. There'll be, of course, most of the time it's hot, but then when it rains pretty heavily in Madras. Didn't matter, just get totally drenched. A good class.
What interesting was, we used to cycle down from Sadapat Hostel to our campus. So it used to go in front of governor's house.
Yes. Go, Rajbaba. Yeah,
On
Rajbaba.
a sided way, that one car used to come out from the governor's house and we used to be cycling down towards IIT. And that one beautiful girl used to go. Maybe this daughter, the high school student, a college student. That's very beautiful. So we timed our cycling in such a way that every day we used to see that. Not only that, we used to stop the bicycle and wait for the pass and see through the window whatever you could. That's brief moment of 5-6 seconds probably.
But we all wait for him. But one more thing you see, at that time we were, after all, many have come from poor families also. It's not, it was a question of saving money, like that was a tendency at that time. So to even, let's say, to come from Saidapet Hospital to the AC College, every day we used to work 4 times. So morning, our class used to be 7:30 to 11:30 and 1:30 to 4:30. So we used to start to the morning hour breakfast, walk. Return, you can't get a bus at all because the bus 5B route used to be there. Mailapur to Saidapet, you can't get into the bus at that bus stop. So walk back after 11:30, then have a grub, again start walking for the afternoon 1:30, come, again walk back in the evening. So I did it for almost first 1.5 to 2 months. Then purchased a bicycle. At that time, Hercules was one of the common bicycles. Not the nowadays sports bicycles, nothing, no gears, nothing. So bicycle, you see, a simple, plain, and I also say used to have this fun of going cycling. Or
Because for us, the one interesting incident, apart from, many other things, hearing their capacity. So what will happen is, the delta may be standing there, and this much far off. One fellow will come, put a paper here, and do this pencil here. Then it will do, so you can't listen anything. Then I was told that whatever he speaks, you have to repeat. Okay, then he will say 45, I say 45. Then we slow down. Now I can't hear it. Then what I used to do, he said 34. So I see the lips movement. Low. Because I that my voice, nothing has come up. I just lip movement, I did it. So we will say 34. So 34, I said 34. So like that, replicating method, medical
great fun.
And I just give a few funs in the IIT Madras, dating Air Force. A few incidents, very fun was there.
You mentioned about a girl. So how was the batch demographic in your time?
That I wanted to see. We were, why our batch? Our batch, 65 batch, and 66 also. I think there were no girls at all in the engineering, that is in the 5 branches. Then we had 2 girls, one from Kerala, if I remember right, one from, I think, Andhra. Both were in the physics and that maths. Vijayalakshmi was one of them, what I remember. The other one, so the other girl, Kerala girl, I don't remember. They went to the youth festival. The Kerala girl, with the youth festival, I took part in Delhi. She was some of the small dramas or skits she had gone there. So there were the only 2 girls in the studying field. So you always used to say, of these 2 girls are the oasis in a desert.
The 2 girls were there. This story. Who was that humanity professor? What was his name?
Anantraman. No, sorry. Anantraman was one of them. And the other one, outside, he came, I forget.
With the bow tie. Anantraman is here. One of the photos is here with the bow tie. One day he asked us, do you people have any girlfriend? Everybody was looking blank. He said, you people are very socially backward. There is one beautiful girl of Mr. Swaminathan, civil engineer. Why don't you make friendship with her?
So he had come from US. And all that is the bow tie and all that. And this was a girlfriend or whatever. This fix that come over here.
The math teacher was one of the ladies.
Yeah. Later on. Yeah. Good. I mean, but later on, I think, then I came for the Golden Jubilee. That's what in this days I mentioned about this incident of having oasis in a desert. Then at that time I came to learn almost 15% of the students were women. So it was great to learn that. I mean, the population, no, must be more.
India trying to be.
No, must be what? More, no, must be more, 25, 30%. Yeah, it's a pretty phenomenal improvement. Yes.
Koteshwaran used to take classes for us. He had done what in
MSc, he had an MSc, MS honors.
MSc honors he had done, and he was student with a
Lateral entry, BSc.
So he was sick. Was his classes for you?
Israel mid-tens not there.
He joined 2 years after. The people who did BSc could join in the third year.
Yeah. So going little back when you joined, so the campus buildings were not there. So you were telling about the Saidapet hostel or the Kindi hostel. Were you all in same hostels that time?
Yes, no. You see, in the Saidapet hostel where we were there were hardly, I think, 25 rooms. It was a vegetarian hostel. Non-vegetarian hostel was in Gindi hostel. That was in Gindi. So 25, it was double-seated there. But when this Kaveri Krishna was built up and we came here, it's all a single-seated only. I mean, to be frank, it's a luxurious hostel. See, in a hostel, a room with a balcony and the cupboards, I tell you can't get anywhere else. If you see it, they're cramped up. No, I don't know. So otherwise, a single room, single-seated and beautiful. And also, this balcony, we have two this thing. So, also like a funny incident, I can say maybe a little pornographic. See, some people used to make a lot of noise and all that. So balcony, as we would know more than that, somebody used to pee from the top. The balcony is one over there. There's a second floor to the first floor. So this was, okay, we'll teach him a lesson. I think that's what you see in the film also, in the 3 Idiots, I think. So I got the immersion heaters at that time. So he put the immersion in a plucky police on your feet. Yes, it's a real story. And we have a common master in our wing, 111, 116, in that wing, in that thing, so the top. So more intelligent. So I said, good. IIT is having intelligent people now to contract also. 3 Idiots, so really, 3 Idiots is a copy in this.
We might have interviewed really.
So that was a great fun. But I tell you one thing, for an excellent rapport with everybody. And one more thing I forgot to mention, important. At our time in the selection, because there's no entrance exam, there were seats allotted to the various states in the country. So every state had. So there was a, representative from all. So now is what we call all the enter this thing, religion or this community, all was set up. All were everything. From Kashmir we had, from here, from Assam we had, everywhere.
Integration.
That was a big thing. It became integration by itself. So we used to have, I remember I came at that time, Sindhya School, Gwalior, Madhya Bharat it was. Not in Madhya Pradesh. You came in Madhya Pradesh. There were 2 seats from Madhya Pradesh. I happened to be one of.
Not like that. Every state was allotted.
They were allotted. Now in that, intermediate science or PUC, so marks then interview. But 2 seats were allotted. So Kashmir we had also few.
Madhya Pradesh too, myself and Govidas Daga. Where we took it.
We are saying that it's great. I mean, the real integration, you tell me. That is so much we have still a homogeneity or whatever. A lot of this, nothing like north of India, south of India, nothing. Everywhere, you have north, south, east, west, all the others. One of the best we had. I mean,
I'm just
the spirit.
curious, how did you all communicate it? Because I feel that time English was not more prominent in all the schools at matriculation level in your age.
No, you see, it's not English. Maybe we were hesitant to speak, to be frank. Nowadays, the children are so good. I mean, actually, we were hesitant to speak because probably native mother tongue was easiest to speak. Where middle school, high school speak. But later on, yes, in India, some people may have found difficult. But I think it's, you see, always at such times, you also learn local language. You enjoy. So, Tamil also, I also know. I'm in Kannada class. We try to learn the abuses in Tamil
so that no one is able to abuse.
So it came and it's great. And they also used to learn the language. Some important words as right is some of them abuse praises also. That's how both. So like that, and it's that it is not one. Maybe of course always in such big groups there are always some groups small more. I would say more attached. You can't say they don't. More attached because of Kannada we are over 8 people from Karnataka at that time. We also had our group, but it's there natural, nothing wrong, but it's nothing against something or everybody's to enjoy. It is being sports together, playing, and all. It makes a little different. So it's great.
Very, very homogeneous. Yes, very.
When we came to the Madras, till that time, coffee word I had not heard. And tea coffee was not there in our house also. The first time when we came here, the house, one side vegetarian, one side non-veg. So milk, we couldn't drink. So we used to go to the coffee shop, throw the coffee down and the talk shop. Then only it will, we used to take milk. And that is the time we got little, started liking. How I like coffee. That time, otherwise, we never used to take up. It started in IIT Madras.
I think coffee is something after coming to South India, we all
Yeah. Well, beautiful coffee you get here. I mean, that's all.
story about going by truck, like from the hostel to SC College, I believe.
If I remember, we never went to AC College for first 2 years.
2 years we studying in.
From there also we get. From here, by the time this has come up, we had only walking this.
See, that Chandra was mentioning that sometime they were staying in IIT, in the campus, and they had to come. So when they came as IIT campus to AC College,
Maybe.
they came in the truck. But we were still for 2 years here. I had their bicycles. Yeah, by swag bicycle as rowing.
So also that one of them. Do you remember your teachers, your faculties like Prapta Anandrama? Do you remember? Even in the subject.
Most of them were very well. We remember. See, in fact, in civil engineering, I was Dr. Varghese was head of the department. Then others, Mr. Rajat. Dr. Bishop, his son also stayed here, I think. Koshi Varghese. Then Mr. Radhakrishnan, and then Mr. They settled in, he used to come to Bangalore, Mr. Radhakrishnan. His son was employed by L&T. So I used to go and meet him. I mean, I'm not talking after retirement, when age of 65, 70, he used to call me up, we used to go and see him, meet him. And then on the metro, it took him around the metro. So there was Nagaraja was there one like that. So happy. But I think names we never forget, maybe 1 or 2 if at all. Mr. Muthaya was there. So very good that way.
So, you used to be called only airpay.
Physics. We call Venkateshwara, it would be other shot. So we used to call upon the Your Jessica,
Ganesh, I remember the first 2 years we had Professor Han,
Yes.
Dr. Koch. So Koch was teaching physics and Han was mathematics.
Shear was machine.
So Sher, he was teaching machine design. First 2 years drawing, yes. And Sher, he would insist on thin lines and thick lines. Because he meant and they say, the Germans were very particular about, the outside of the drawing, the outline of the drawing has to be in a certain thickness, it's like 0.5 millimeter or something. And the interior lines had to be, and they taught us how to, shave the pencils so that you get a very fine chisel point. And for whatever reason, I was supposed to be very good at drawing. And even when later on, after I passed out of IIT and went to Institute of Science, and I was teaching there for a while, they made me an external examiner for drawing. I don't know why. I still couldn't figure out why they sent me all the drawings from IIT Madras.
What is it? Well, that's good great, is it? It is on Professor Sampar. So, but that time we had not the electronic board, now more blackboard, the chalk. Professor Sampath we write with the chalk.
with very less pressure. Ipatti, read. I said, sir, little craze lagati nikona because we cannot read. He said, then you come into the front bench. I apply more pressure than this.
But the German professors, I guess I tuned them out in the sense because I could not stand their their English. So I missed out a lot. I really didn't learn a whole lot of math and physics in the first 2 years, and I had to learn it all by myself. So in the third year, I was in trouble. My grades were very bad, and part of it is entirely my problem, not because of the professors, because I could have studied. So, and of course, no one in my parents never said a word to me. But the middle of the third year, my sister sent a super letter to me saying, "I think you can do better," and it turned the switch in my mind. I said, "Yeah, I think I can do better." And we were very fortunate at that time that the McGraw-Hill books were available in Indian editions, fairly, accessible in terms of money. So we could buy, there was a book called Catalyst by G.B. Thomas and Timoshenko's books on mechanics. All these were easily accessible. So I read those things on my own, and I think I caught up. In the third year, I caught up on everything. Otherwise, I'd have been in deep trouble. But nothing to do with the professors. It's just, I was, like you said, we're not even quite 16, but we were just growing up. They're not quite mature at that time. And there was no real mentoring. There was nobody from the faculty who was assigned, say, to take care of me, for example, to show any special interest in me. If I had any rapport with anybody, it was Professor Sher, because he drawing Patmanabhan also. So they knew I was good at drawing, and
In drawing, there was one Sur. Sur was good. You can't remember. SS?
In humanities classes, when professor used to come and teach English and that novel Hamlet, Shakespeare,
Hamlet, yeah.
and he used to quote from Hamlet. Old book was, he knew, and he will take here and there and explain, and he was master really English. So very good English.
Is he like this Krishnamurti at all?
No, I wasn't him. He was from Jain College. What's the theatre come? I can't get the name now.
Really taking this. Then German from Max Muller Bhavar. When lady used to come to
Was German.
this as Germany.
Some Ben, some.
Without lady actually from Max Muller Bhavar.
Yes, beautiful. Sure. Don't look at that. Not only that. See, there were two German. One was one of the what beautiful girl, whatever. And the other one, little old woman. So the other batch fellows, they used to come to our batch. They were not allowed to come. They used to come to sit and watch her. But very first instant, I would like to say, I don't know whether you remember. See, it used to be our time, 1 week completely workshop, and the other week completely academic. Academic week and workshopping. So first day we entered, I don't know our batch, you were there and your roll numbers depending on yours. So we went to the class 7:30. All of us are seated where some are always front benchers, some are middle, some are back benchers. So then sharp about 7:25, 7:20, one gentleman entered, nicely dressed. He came with a duster and chalk piece. And then something on the blackboard, he rubbed it. As soon as he entered, all of us stood up as system and elders. So then he rubbed the blackboard, everything, all the things. Then he kept the chalk piece and the duster on the table and went out. After about 10 seconds, the other gentleman came, Dr. Ramajastri, physics. So all of us then were looking like fools. So he said, the first was a Kuhn who came in, clean the blackboards, and as our habit, the elders stood up. All the way, now covering their faces. So that was fun for the first one, this thing, which I very, very vividly remember that. It was great.
Another professor I remember I had was Professor Quedget. as he was teaching machine design. And he was Joseph fighter pilot in the during the German, during the Second World War. And the thing that I remember, because they're all tall people, the Germans who were teaching us, his wrist was probably about twice the size of my wrist. But for some reason, though my personal field from that time till even to today has been design, and for some reason it didn't catch any fire with me, because the German approach to teaching design at that time, and again, partly is my maturity. I was not mature enough. They seem to very much focus on standardization. So whenever we start on cables or designing this or that, they'll immediately start with tables of something standardized items. I said, what's this? Why look at a table when you're designing something? And I don't think I really fully got the flavor of design in IIT for some reason. When I went to the Institute of Science, I was very lucky. I had a very good professor there. And but again, as I said, it's nothing to do with IIT. It's, as I said, I grew up in IIT. The first 2 years, I was goofing off playing tennis, playing hockey and soccer, and there was a swimming pool inside the pit that we could access. Yeah. Jump into the swimming pool. We would go to the Edward Elliot's Peak, get into a catamaran, go into the ocean and jump into the ocean.
Elliot Beach. She's in beach. Yeah. So they had very near to.
Yeah. We used to go there.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that part of it. Then the second part of the 5 years, I really buckled up and studied, and I even got a first class, because so after I went to the Institute of Science, one of the professors from IIT, I think his name was Ramani, I think. Ramani was. So he was chatting with my professor in the Institute of Science. He said, I don't know how this fellow got a first class.
They're very modest. These fellows, we were all better people. These fellows used to go there Sunday mornings and to see the women or in bikinis, girls in bikinis. So they used to go, many of them, to eat.
There's another fun story. And forget, we brought this little device here, which I think all of us have done.
We all have.
All of us have done this. How much effort we had put in it. The story behind this particular thing is I forgot about it completely. My father passed on in 2008, and after a few years, my sister said, "Here's a box of all your IIT stuff." That was about 10 years ago, and I didn't even open it. I just took the box and took it back to the US. And when I opened it, I found this in it, and I said, "Oh my goodness!" This cue started off as a round, bare piece of iron, and this flat piece started off as what you see there as a channel, a real rough. The outside was the rusted, and they just said, "Here it is, and here's what you're supposed to make." And the training was fantastic. I mean, the training that we received in paying attention to detail. I think we used micrometers to be within, I think, like 1 or 2 thousandths on each side. We had to check the right angle, and it was extremely good training. And I was, fortunately for me, I already had the interest in this kind of thing before I came to IIT. So it's
when you put here, but checking the 90 degrees, no light should pass. Perfect 90 degree tree.
and see the raining.
We used to apply chalk to the fire, and they keep on doing. It's taken you all.
Oh, real hard work. Real.
The only thing later on I had a grudge was we had a beautiful workshop with lots of machine tools. We didn't get to use any of the machine tools hardly. We we've spent most of our time on developing muscles, piling, and
harness. That in our time it was 1 week workshop, 1 week acad. Every other week, whole week. Yeah, what only my overall.
Now, I think I kind of understood where the Germans were coming from.
Yeah.
They felt, these they like pieces of paper and like right now software. They love software, but they don't like to get their hands dirty. It's changed. I think I'm very happy that that attitude has changed. But because the main thing is when you get an engine, bicycle, or whatever it is, you should take it apart. First thing to do is see what's in it. That is my first tendency. Take it apart, see what's in it. And I think they were trying to develop that sense of being actual parts. How do you make it? And so that stayed with me. When I went to the Institute of Science, again, my field was always something had to do something with experimental stuff. Even when I did the PhD, it was more than half of my work was experimental work, and I had to take cameras or dark rooms and take pieces of glass, put a mirror coating on it, and so it's. But that grounding came from the Institute of Technology because they got our hands dirty right from the beginning.
No, that's it. Even you see, some children, when we bring toys to the children, maybe from the first of all, we're thinking they should preserve it careful and all. No, some children immediately remove the wheels, remove brakes, something. I used to encourage that. We shun them. No, don't spoil the toy. Don't spoil, don't. I'm small, you wanted a showpiece are very small moments. So that's, I think, in our family, it was bad. Now, looking back, it was bad. You should allow them. Let them spoil it or break it, whatever. Then they learn. It develops. The wine develops a lot. And originality comes from there. That's what I believe. Otherwise, we have become copy masters.
Yeah, 100% that this coming to this central workshop. So, your central workshop, like when you were in the first year, second year, did you, because IIT Madras central workshop came later, the buildings.
No, AC college. No, we are
Highway resistance. Is it?
highway only for the experiments. Like we used to go to Ganesh Engineering College for some hydraulics experiments or survey. Otherwise, basically, workshop all AC college only. There was carpentry and fitting both there available before we moved into this campus for this. But yes, examination also, some days we used to go to Gindi Engineering College. Survey, I remember. And as I told you, the experiments, some this thing, which they did not have at that time. So we used to go to Gindi College.
I think we did welding.
Yes, welding also went to Gindi.
Really good training.
I think machine shop is started here.
Yeah.
They're lathe machines.
Yeah, we really, in fact, when I went to the US and I was in graduate school and I was helping teaching, I looked at the kids because the kids were all interested in, so I started a little course there for the kids who I was teaching. Go to the shop and I would say, use the lathe and the milling machine and so on. Just to get them, get their hands also in dirty. Though they hold it pretty good at, pretty handy, but they were not exposed to the machine shop work. And it was something that stayed with me. So I just wanted to say that IIT has been in my blood, so to say. That thing has been in my blood. That's ever since that has.
Abhishek, how long has been the workshop for you? Like, was it for just one semester or like entire 4 or 5 years?
I think 2 years.
True. See, first, 2 years, but I think if you remember, it is carpentry, fitting, but basically those two were the only ones. Then later on, welding it started.
We had welding, but on it, a lot of carpentry where we see up and did all the dovetail joints and tenon joints, and I think they might have had a little bit of introduction to machine tools, but as I said, that was a shortcoming that they didn't. Though they had beautiful machine shop. I mean, Germans are famous for their machine tools, so they have shapers, lathes, milling machines. Never got to use any of that, and just barely. And that is a little bit sad, but the fact that we could do it, we knew we could do it, so that stayed with us.
And how had been the technical courses in your time, like right now, and like if we see electrical or any engineering which are non, like which are circuited, so they have they cannot be taught without using any computers and all. So how was that, those courses in your time?
Oh, we had only log tables. Logarithm, I don't know whether people have seen it even today. I don't know, modern student. Logarithm tables, logarithm table. We were seeing if logarithm started logarithm, then slider was a little improvement. And then particularly civil engineers had the worst in the sense the log tables others were 4-figure. I don't know, they have heard of logarithm tables? Yeah. They're 4-figure logarithm tables. Whereas for us, survey, with astronomical survey and all this, we used to have 7-figure logarithm tables.
So that time, electronics professor Sampath used to teach us the vacuum tubes. I don't know how that filament is there, this is there. Transistor had not yet come. We're in final year, then only the introduction of transistor from few hours only were taught. Otherwise, vacuum tube, which is nowhere there, and today's generation won't know what was.
Nobody knows even.
Yeah, we became experts in vacuum tubes. I think he went to MIT or something like that, and he had a book called, I think it was something written by a person named Truman Gray, and it is a thick book, and he knew it backwards and forwards. But he was teaching us all about diodes and triodes and pentodes, and to this day I remember all of it, but except that by the time he taught it, it was already obsolete. Really, I'm sure he was, but that is his background. So he
Even his computer later, this was computer. That time, the computer was, the whole room was with plenty of baby there. Even let's say substituted.
62, 63.
Whole room was.
They still hadn't gotten to miniaturization, but transistors were widely available by that time because transistors were invented in 48. So by 52, 53, there was a transistor radio had called. So in the US, it was already transistors were taking over, except in the case of, say, something like when I went to school there, the television stair were always running using tune.
Where only rich fellows could as the transistor. Otherwise, radio is way in the houses. Or cheap. Anybody having transistor means he's a rich guy. The time came, the cycle wala, doodh wala will carrying the transistor.
Yeah, at that time it was given in dowry. It was a prestige thing. They used to tie it in their bicycles, and my doodhwala, he used to come with transistor.
But it's a strange thing that happened in my case in the 90s. I was working for Abbott Labs, and we had something called a photo multiplier tube, which looks at individual photons coming out of whatever the sample is. And for that, there's something called a photo multiplier tube, and that uses thermionic emission. And I remember Professor Sampath, had talked about thermionic emission and how sensitive it is to temperature and so on. I said, oh, gee, I've actually came across a device that is still using that technology. Not so many years.
The slide rules was the common for the calculations.
I would like to take back to your institute life, more on the hostel side. So, what were your time pass activities in your days? I'm like, you didn't have mobile phones or something, so what was the go-to activity apart from sports that you used to do in the hostel?
Okay. Sports is one of the many easiest to this thing. Other things are, I would say, basically gossips and friendship and somebody may have music, may have in a room, just in guitar and all. Culture very much over there.
Drama we had once, Matra, Asnare, Spy, Chanda. There was one very interesting, Illinois drama we had done this. And when inter-IIT athletic meet used to take place. So, first was in
Bombay, 62.
So, we team of 5 or 6, we represented IIT Madras and architecture. And we went to IIT Bombay. There all activities happened and final was our drama. So, half of the population is already gone, audience. And after that, when we presented, Everybody was laughing.
Yes, it was a very good drama.
Very skit.
And you know, it was a talk of the town that IIT Madras
Yes.
has enacted in the Hindi drama, and that is just at the best drama.
That was a great.
Urdu words were also there. You know, from IIT Madras, Hindi with little Urdu was students speaking and presented. And best drama it was thickly.
Well, you had first wide variety. You had movies, you had Carnatic music presented. I think once Swami Chinmayananda came and learned all of us. And so we had so much in the, I don't think there was much in the spiritual area, but we did have, Swami Chinmayananda come and talk to all of us once, 1 year. And I remember Professor Krigan, he listened to the Carnatic music and he said, gee, that sounds like jazz. and it's right. I mean, because you improvise, when you do Carnatic music, you do a lot of improvisation.
One of the students was so interested in Karnataka music. When we come to the dining hall, he'll bring his transistor and then he'll put Karnataka music. That is going on. And he will keep away. The fellows, we have already finished our lunch, but Abba said, hey, I had under rice, where is rice? As it happened, he realizes that Yatna only arrived. So interesting.
We're singing contests also. There's a competition. I remember Canada, there was a competition, singing contests. I mean, film hits, you can whatever. There was. In the first year, I remember, second year, third year. So it was, yes, maybe little subdued, not so much modern as now as, what so many other things are there. It was not so developed at that time. People were not there much also. 120 hours and second batch again was about 120, 130, I think so. But it was different interests, different types of the music came up. We had one of the best, or Cobra, Venkat Krishnan was one of the best English songs. They used to go and represent it. Of course, we used to make fun of them at that time. But English songs were not so very popular, as overwhelmingly popular like Hindi or Tamil or this thing. So we used to have, but yes, afterwards there's a lot of things I talk on. Because there was, that's yes. Mamata Dash, I remember. Mamata Dash that concept was a famous song, the drama used to. They also were talking about that song. They used to have one, game that one of the best tunes. And all of it run, now that it reminded me. Saturday night used to be there from 9 o'clock in the night to 10 to 11. So it's basically English songs and all that. But for these songs, all of us would rush. Let's do Amadachari. At least we would run to the common room and listen that tune. Every time we used to go, every Saturday date. So next year, yes, but there's nothing.
About the entertainment, that's the photography, the open air theatre, which is now also I think
We have Saturday movie nights, which is held every we in open air theater. So what all activities you
that is the photograph from 1962
in
OIT,
at your time?
So we have the same. The podium was here and all the circular, these steps were there.
I think here is the skill and biggest skill where you used to telecast movies and even sometimes cricket.
No, not only, in fact, we went to that just to see. Know about all some doors and all that they were sealed. Is it the V-shaped thing, the entrance? It was all open actually. There was nothing. Anybody could enter, come out. Maybe it was security or whatever, maybe the reasons now. Only steps to go and all that. Yes, to held there only.
First convocation was there in open air.
And even family entry, separate gate, you see here, families, what's the staff families, is it?
Yeah.
We didn't have that also, very common. And secondly, we had movies, no doubt. And PL Kapoor, what is this? Yesterday also they mentioned. He started a film club. You see, at that time, I have one projector. And you have to change the reels, When the reels are changed, you have to keep quiet. By 3 to 5 minutes, they change the reel. Then you start like the olden days. So it used to be fun, but everybody used to come at 9 o'clock. It used to be there on Sundays only. Not even Saturdays, because Saturdays people used to go out. Sunday only, because Saturdays people used to go out and on the beach, this and all. The Sunday it used to be there from 9 o'clock to 11 or whatever it was. So it used to be the film. I mean, the posters used to be there, the Gajendra circle, the film posters who like about the caste and all that.
It seems like you have so much colorful memory from all the cultures and all in your time. So how about the festivals celebrated at your time? Like which all festivals have been memorized from your time?
I hardly, that way any community festivals hardly it was celebrated. I don't think it was there at all, to be frank. Not there at all.
The spiritual side was not,
Heavily. No, like Holi was celebrated. You asked that way. Holi, yes. Holi.
yeah, Holi was only Holi was celebrated. Madhouse, everybody throws stuff.
It's interesting. It might be interesting. Sedapet Hostel also we had. In the Sedapet Hostel also, Holi festival was there.
We celebrated poetry every year. Where's the Pran Boli? I'm like, all that.
No, yes, the Holi Hostel is celebrated well. Diwali, the such, but people used to go over to their home for the tourists like Bangalore or within this. One day go, come back, so more of that.
Yes, spiritual knowledge was left pretty much to individual.
Holi was one you celebrated. And yes, they celebrated very greatly. But only, not sure that was the only festival which I can remember. Which,
How do you like that time? Like, how was you grading and all? Like, just like coming back to your courses and all. Like,
in grading,
you mentioned that you had a very tough time in your third year in courses, and you mentioned that you were not able to finish your projects. So how was that? Like, was hectic or like it was just chill for you, right?
from grading, you see, it started, if I remember, A, B, C, D grades. A grade was at that time above 75%. B was above 60. And then C, I think 50 and fail order. Then what happened? Then later on, see what the problem was, we felt, we was not in graduate fully. So in other college, first class, second class. So first class is 60% above.
Never
So,
number.
true, not that.
Number will not be given. Let me see. Grade 70%. It will only A, B grade. Like.
It's good actually. Now, what happened then was, see, when you go for employment, they say first grade only, first class only need apply. So then you get disqualified. Here the thing was higher, first class, the board was higher. So then they again revised it something. Then they made SS superior 80% above something. Then I think it was 70% on the year. Then, so at least outside does not know, you see. There the first class is 60%, here it is higher, you keep 70%. You lose them, you can't enter. So there was some very matter. And all were just a grades, not like what your CGPA, what is it now? I don't know. That one points, grade 8.5. I cannot understood even. No.
Like right now I do S, K, B, C, D, B, and then
Yes. I don't remember. But the cumulative grade is something is there. What I mean is, we will say S later. But you get some 8.7, 8.5. What is it? I don't know. I have not followed it even.
community grading. So, how to be pay.
I see.
Take the average, so it comes down to come quite 5.6.
I see. I feel it. But there's no percentile here. Nothing like that. Percentile. So it used to be that way grading, but that was a grading so far as the grading was concerned.
Like, how did you graduate? Like, you didn't completed your project. You did completed your project, right?
No, project means it. No, MTech project, you mean? Or a BTech? No, BTech will not have any project at all.
Talking about thesis, I think that's what he.
BTech, MTech is here. So, see, what happened was, they were at that time, 3 was academic semesters. 4th semester is supposed to be this thing. So because we had a BTech exam in February, passed out, then we think brought out. It's very funny. You see what happened. Dr. Varghese was our professor. And then you see, everybody knows in BTech completion, you want to go to, most of them into America. So you get the forms, apply, and you have to get 2 references. So in my case, lucky I was standing first in the class. So I filled up and 2 references. I obviously gave Dr. Varghese, one other person, another person. So then after a week, my other lecturers came and, Burgess has not recommended your case. He is not giving you. I was shocked because Vishnu and Mamata, we were the two, first and second. I said, how come? I mean, I've been standing first, and I was shocked literally. So then after some days, my other professor, no sir, Sudhir, don't get disheartened. It's not that. He wants you to appear in the UPSC examination, All India competitive examination. He wants you to get a rank, and then that in this thing that shows the IIT Madras level. Oh, from IIT Madras has got into the top ranks. At that time, you see, railways used to be the top ranking service, and normally first 10 in the whole country used to get. So then I got a little satisfied. Then one day Varghese himself called me and told, so it's not that I didn't want to recommend you for this, but I want you to, this year you do this, get a rank, then you want to go. But first, because here also coming up for the IIT Madras first batch, so he wants the whole country to know there is a graduates, so very good batch who can get top achievers come and results. Oh, this seems fine as a professor, yes. So I did not. Then when I got into the UPSC exam and got the rank, and then I said, it's a government service, everybody said it's very, railways was a premier service. Then I joined the railways. So at that time, then if you join late the government, see, at that time the rules went on changing, of course. One is ranking in the thing which you get seniority. Second is the date you join. That also counts for seniority. So what if I join late, I do the whole MTech means another 6 months. My joining date is late, so I might suffer in future. It was not no. So my grandfather advised, you do the, even Dr. Varghese said, you do his academic portion, you go, I'll give you or leave, whatever. Then you come back and do later, because the compulsory residential thing. I said, okay. Then in that way, he kept it open to me. But once I joined the IBC, and there the government does not such this thing, there's no special favor given to MTech or something. I mean, they post you in a different way, like a pure designs, execution, nothing like that. So it wouldn't matter much, and age was more important there, joining at age. And I happened to be the youngest in the group of 11 people who were selected. So that helped me also. So I became general manager and then member of the board. That's why I had to discontinue and come.
Earlier, some Professor Sampath had given us the projects. My Class A amplifier has to be wired up. That was my project in final year. But different students were given different project make professor.
The BTech projects were okay, different. MTech is a thing which is on top. The BTech we used to have 2 months with a project like that used to, but MTech is a part of it. Out of 4 semesters, one has to be something like a thesis. So that's how I stopped. But I said, I'm satisfied with academic knowledge you have got. What the 3 semesters. This is to put MTech name in on it, so it doesn't matter. So that's how I discontinued. And they advise you better join after the academic portion is over. That's why, because it took 1 year to get the results, at that time. You appear in 1964, August, September. The results ultimately joining came in September 65. Up to November 65, I did this MTech 3rd semester and then walked off.
Is there? No, any questions? If is there, within the questions of you.
Sir, I would like to know, because you were the sports person, so you were playing hockey. Do you remember, like, what my first question, what was the sports facility on campus when you were here? And do you remember about inter-IIT sports? When Mansur Ali Khan, the Nawab of Patodi, he was the...
Oh, yeah, that was MTech. You see, they are not here. See, I studied MTech, continued MTech. Now, Patodi, Natarajan knew him, so he invited him for opening the stadium that behind Ganga Hostel. So now Patodi came to inaugurate the stadium. We were at that first year MTech. That was one. And of course, sports, I am basically interested in sports very much. Outdoor, indoor, both.
Athletic meet used to be there. That's it. Inter-IIT meet, yes.
Oh, you meant to inter-IIT?
Yes, Inter-IIT athletic meet. At that time, we had only 4 IITs. Kharagpur, Bombay, Madras and Kanpur. Only 4 inter-IIT athletic meet. First one, we expected Kharagpur will hold with the senior most. But no, Bombay held an inter-IIT athletic meet in December 1962 in the Christmas vacation time.
So 4 then. Then next one was held in Kharagpur in 1964 beginning, 1963 and 1964 beginning. Then thereafter, when I was in Tech, I think later they held in Madras also. So you were there to the Madras. Yes. So it is there.
Nick was a national racer.
Who?
Nick
Athletes. It's good. The entertainment was very good. But you see, at that time, both of them, Kharagpur, Bombay, took most of the titles. Because Kharagpur had a lot of seniorities, 1951, so they're good sports. We had only two, our batch and the next batch, 61, 62, only were the two really. So we didn't fight well, but some they were little good too.
Your question was very interesting from me because we, a bunch of young people, we just got together and started playing hockey. And I was very lucky because we had, like, he was the fullback, first off. Nobody could get past him. And he was a forward, a tall guy. So I had a very good team. And for some reason, they chose me captain. The only thing that we didn't have was anybody to coach us.
Yes. Of course, they were not there. Physically step-by-step, sweetie.
And the contrast was, in my case, was terrible because later on when I went to the US and I saw how much effort goes into the sports side of things in the US. Each sport, there's a dedicated coach for it. And we were basically just a bunch of kids, just doing whatever it felt like. There was no strategy, no nothing,
Learned others.
Yeah, athletic with Tassa used to be, but there's no strategy, there was no organized way of playing, for example. So in my case, some kind of wild idea. If we heard of Dhyan Chand and we heard of Balbir Singh, all the Indians were the gold medalists in the Olympics, and so they were like heroes for us. But we thought, the individual dribbling, and that is the way to show how good you are. But that's not the way to play hockey. That's not the correct way. It's a team sport where you have the strategy. And now I look at the game and I say, they don't even attack. They pass here. I say we could not fail at that. We were basically thinking that we are all Balbir. So each one was, except for good old Srivastava, who was the rock, and who was the Goni? There is Srinivas Nageswar. Except for a few people who had some common sense, the rest of us were just too individualistic, and somehow we would get past the other guys and they'd try to hit the thing, but we had no strategy. And that contrast, I felt really bad afterwards. I said, "Gee, what kind of a fool was I to play to have such nice people and not really have good coaching?" I don't know if you have any good coaching these days. Yeah, you have.
No, they are development.
Because there is science even in play. There is a certain amount of science in how you pass and how you get disciplines. So I don't think we had any warm-up exercises, nothing. We just go there, throw the ball in the middle. Okay, 6 people on this side, 6 people on the side, practice.
But in spite of all these, he used to get a very, not any match.
I tell you, one of the best matches we won was, I think it's the Madras Medical Award. We were losing 0-2 at halftime, and we won at 3-2. In the second half, we scored 3 goals and won. Other one is the Chrome Plate. It was 8-0. So in that, we are there putting a poor team or something, whatever. So we won 8-0.
So you won the other one.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. We really enjoyed playing hockey, and but I wanted. My regret is, I wish I knew. I was more mature to have organized it in such a nice way, because we would have been unstoppable if we had a little bit more coaching.
Yes,
The group of people we had would have been unstoppable. Yeah.
but we didn't have this go. Sports zones also were very good, except basketball was good. This small court, no. Hockey, this was not that good. Yes, it's okay.
Tennis, we had the tennis where Rainer Paul and
Paul and Shetty, junior back.
And then there table tennis also.
Also, was Subarao was the Karnataka champ, was state champs and so on.
No, I mean, but see, considering the first two badges, the people are few, the probability of getting a good play is less, isn't it? But still, we went. But then I was so happy to hear one first time and the what's it called, general trophy or whatever, which I saw in the thing. Oh, great! I was so satisfied. IIT Madras at last got.
So you guys won the first IIT.
No. I said I saw the photo here when IIT Madras got the Ora trophy or whatever you call that. Now I don't know what's called. This is so that I saw the photograph here. Somewhere 70s, I think, is somewhere. Good. I mean, basically, it's Bombay or Kharagpur. Initially, it is 5-6 years. Afterwards, I was passed.
Hostel, inter-hostel was all you picked.
Telling you had good breed, so you were good at Naugabar.
He's good at tearing people apart. That's how he is defense. Enemies, fills them up. Yes. But one thing we should owe a lot to IIT. I mean, what I must say is, yeah, there have always been advantages. It was the first batch. There are some advantages, there are some disadvantages because it's not fully developed workshops or these things. But there's so many advantages also. Premier batch, maybe more soft corner could have been there. I don't know. So that sort of thing, I've enjoyed both. And I think, but a very good stepping stone. And but nowadays, people are much better exposed than we were. And so their thing is, outlook is different. And they're also bringing laurels. Why not? We are trying to bring laurels. They are also bringing laurels. And as you see in some of the alumni, I just hats off to them. The latest Charula, who has donated some 250 crores. I mean, for us, the crore, it doesn't come into our heads because it's not that going to. It's always difficult to part with money. Let's be frank. But that person to donate, and I think this part, so many people have donated crores and crores and crores. Good. They have earned also. They have done it. Earning is one part. It's a question of then also giving it to others and giving to the community, giving to the country. And that's a great, great achievement and great, what reverence we can say when I'm reverence to your alma mater. So that's something.
Like that, would you like to share any anecdotes or anything at the end?
No, one of the funny moments I remember, I thought I'd just tell. One was, we had this, where all the hostels have the girls' names. Basically, Krishna.
Rivers in India.
No, reverse is one. Also the girls' names, Krishna, Kaveri. And so, I know Natarajan is that then they had to open a girls' hostel. So, they said, what name would you suggest for the girls' hostels? So, one of us said, Brahmaputra.
Initially they were like the same, so the point.
Then I think the Saryu or something came up. That was one of them. Second, I remember very vividly in the quiz. Quiz, we were very good. Our batch, two were Chinese, Srinivas Nageshwar and Venkateshwaram. We were very good at quiz. We earned laurels everywhere in Madras and all that. And so once the quiz was held here, so then the quiz master was there and it was in that first floor of building, I don't remember. So then the question, two teams, A and B. So the question was put, what is written on the gates of hell? Team A chance. 2 minutes of water given, they lost. They couldn't. Then 3 IIT team also, they also lost. So one fellow from the audience shouted, IIT Madras. So frank and everybody enjoyed the fun at that moment. It was great. So Zatuvali Bari story, Pastor Bari. You have register.
Mr. Nakrazan.
So he narrated one story. I think he was there and somebody husband was very much worried. So why are you worried? He said, 1,000 rupees I have to give to our neighbor. From window to window you can see each other and I don't have the money. So what to do? He said, don't worry, we pass the money to him. We said, how will you do that one? He said, hey, come on. But tomorrow I'm supposed to give 1,000 rupees. Yes, correct? I'm not giving. And close the door. So I'm not today.
a question out of the 1000 I'll get and do this and do that. Now you're not giving him, so the worry is past.
So it's great fun, but all great, all said and done. So now, great. I mean, we have a great nostalgia for the days we spent. And I was like,
Steve and Star. Pucha. We had gone and met, we said that the
sit down, saw that thing. I don't know what to do. Those basic assessment test. Yes, no surprise test.
Can I?
You don't have anything. There's no surprise test nowadays.
We are lucky that we had senior who actually like passed the information that okay, this is a prof who can take surprise budget. So try avoiding those questions if you can. So like we had those kind of information from our seniors, which I think you guys were not fortunate on.
In our time, it was very frequent.
If we come, we thought that we would take lecture now. If we just write down about 5 questions, out of 5, best of 4, do it right now. Use the paper, after half an hour, color the paper and go. Like that, without any announcement, exam.
First year, the professor said, do you want open book test? We all said, yes. But yesterday, I forget his name.
If somebody mentioned something,
He mentioned that is
the page number is under.
to me. He said, sir, which book, which page number? I gave him the book.
Anand said, but he could not find the answer.
So ultimately we said, sir, no more open book, only closed exam.
So a lot of fun was there. No, but in a way, yes. You have anything concluding you want to?
Just I wanted to ask, like, how were you interacting with the juniors? We were the most best in the IIT, and like there would be 5 batches of juniors who have soil impact. How were your interaction with them, and how do you keep evolving their life to like institute?
See, interaction depends. If you ask me, person to person, whether you're independent of the batch. And moreover, in the sports field, you're all same. I mean, there's no difference in them. So that way, this is a tendency is always your batch, them much more. Naturally, your thing will be more. Junior batch maybe a little less, but 60% we have almost stayed also together. So there's more of
Sort of lagging or something like.
No, we are lucky. I forgot to mention the first batch. You were the first batch, so no ragging.
Did you rag? I'm like your junior.
Not me. I was not very interested in ragging. But some of them, they were ragged also. We used to be a little bystander in that. Like that. Yeah, almost none.
So, what kind of ragging did you?
No, very, not so modern, sophisticated ragging. No, we didn't have all that. Yes, it's very.
Remember any
More
Vindicate? No, like now government has a stricter policy, so
No, not all those sisters, the hostels I'm told some first batch hostel is different hostel altogether. Now, isn't it? Acha, that's wonder. So probably that was made also maybe one of the reasons. I thought they'll, our case Narmada was there when we can say after Kaveri, so there that 67 batch were there. So they used to go independently, and when you come to school, your classes you meet ragging like that. Otherwise, I think not much. But some of the time it came worse. Then again, it has improved. Not much ragging, as I understand. There isn't much of a ragging. Yes.
one final question to all of you, like, what is the one incident which have lasting memory in your like till now about the institute life or anything like pertaining to IIT Madras that you still have, which it shares?
Much.
Just a good. Okay, well, the thing that really stayed with me the most has been the feeling of confidence that I can do anything. That give me something be fixed, and I guess I feel as if I can actually tackle it and give some practical solution to it. That feeling of confidence was generated in me, and it's staying. So whether I'm able to actually do it every case or not is different. but at least you start off with a very positive, active, and that act you give the full credit to IIT Madras. Yeah.
No, I think I feel also as it were, Dr. Verghese wanted that someone from the IIT should get into some of the UPSC first. So I got help, and I happened to satisfy him and probably indirectly the institute also. So that was probably one of the biggest satisfactions I had.
I think I do not know, I cannot explain how, but the amount of confidence must be because of I am being an IITian. I was basically in mineral-based industries. Then one fine morning, the director, rather who worked ISRO Secretary Industries, he called a meeting. I was also called, and he said, "Well, Mr. Srivastava, we are going to put a super thermal power plant this place, and you have been appointed as head to head that plant." I said, "What the hell, sir? I do not know ABCD of a power plant." Who said, "What? We know you can do it." I thought in my mind that there is a Hindi saying, "Sharja beta chuli pe Bhagwan bhala kar." So I took it, but with God's grace and my IIT, I did it very successfully, and it is still operating, one of the best power plants in the state of Uttar Pradesh.
We were saying very happy.
It is typically a very different thing, balancing a turbine of that magnitude. So that confidence was there. If I have been assigned that what, I will. And with God's grace, till date, I have not failed in any of the projects which I have done. I think if I add up, I must have done more than 15-20,000 crore projects. Not only greenfield, but old plants, revamping, complete modernization, everything. That is more difficult. Like I ask you to wear my shirt, you have to modify everything. So this is, have that confidence that yes, I am from IIT Madras.
He had pay in the Kimia citizen living home. There are many PA citizens on an active. Somebody was income tax commissioner in Delhi, security in Gujarat, temple, then not anybody that I tell you. So that is a real, even this one.
And although I hope we have the first batch as an example, good example, I hope others have to reflect and further progress 60 years or over. And
Our trials are more.
yeah, best we just satisfies us also. The wonderful people are coming up now, as in every field, including compassion. Great.
So, thank you everyone. So, the first batch of IIT Madras, they are celebrating the Diamond Jubilee, and they are still young at heart, and it's such a pleasure and privilege and honor to talk to you, all of you, and to know more about IIT those days. So, looking forward to seeing you again on campus very soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I would love, I hope we will live up to the Platinum Jubilee, at least to see, at least to hear and see. May not be able to participate, at least to see. Let's see how things work out. God willing, may happen. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.